guys? It's Ruby. I have had the pleasure of dining at every single major Las Vegas buffet, and today it's time to put them to the test. I am ranking every Las Vegas buffet, starting with my least favorite, the ones I don't recommend, all the way up to my absolute fave. If you're hungry, grab a snack, because this one's gonna be delicious. Now, when we're talking about every Vegas buffet, I want to be clear that I am covering the ones that are in major hotels and casinos, including off-strip hotels. I'm not including the all-you-can-eats in Chinatown or one-off restaurants because there are just so many. So we're covering the main big ones in this video. Make sure you are subscribed. I have full reviews of every single one of these buffets, but let's get started with my absolute worst pick. I think we can all guess that is going to be Circus Circus. So $25 for breakfast and $30 for dinner. Oof, there is just not a lot to like about Circus Circus buffet. The dinner in particular, it's going to be pretty much all beige food. It's very much Vegas vacation.
I'll have some of the yellow.
And it's mostly food that is child friendly. Think like corn dogs, tacos, spaghetti, which would be fine, but none of it's good. Like the food is just not up to snuff. Breakfast, there's very little variety for this price point, so I don't want to harp on this for too long. Circus Circus is definitely a skip. My number 13 pick is going to be the Luxor at $28, unless you do the My Vegas reward, in which case you can get buy one get one, and it's $17. It's just quite frankly still not even worth that. This one is one of the absolute worst. The variety is terrible. There is not a lot to choose from. And most of the food is a big skip. A lot of really passable items here. This is one where I've had food that I actually had a hard time finishing, and that doesn't happen super often at these buffets. So once again, I would say Luxor is just an absolute no. I would definitely skip this one. My number 12 pick, this one's a hot take. Let's talk about the Bellagio. So Bellagio has a $55 brunch and a $75 dinner. And I'm gonna put this one here mainly because of those prices. The Bellagio used to have an amazing buffet, and I think it's been kind of coasting on its reputation, and it has gone really downhill. This buffet is no better than the other MGM buffets, and in fact, this one's worse for a few reasons. First of all, the price, obviously, and second of all, this is the only buffet I've been to in the last year that had food that was actually cold, like it wasn't up to temperature standard. I haven't dealt with that at any of the other buffets yet, so that was a big first for me, and that's a big food safety issue. This one just has a lot of really basic, really standard items. Some stuff is good. The desserts are incredible here. I love the desserts on this buffet, so shout out to their pastry chefs. But otherwise, oof, this one is really pricey. I don't think it's worth the price. I think it's very skippable. My number 11 pick is going to Excalibur. Excalibur ranking above Bellagio is definitely a big upset. Once again, with this one, you can get the buy one, get one reward for $17, which is the only way I recommend you do this. There's a lot of skips on the Excalibur buffet, like I wouldn't eat the sushi here. A lot of the stuff's very standard. But breakfast is incredibly solid, and they do have enough options here where I feel like for $17 you can get your money's worth. So this one's like a maybe recommend. It's not one of the best buffets by a long shot, but it's all right, especially if you get that My Vegas reward. Then I think this one could be okay, and I think you could have a decent buffet. My number 10 pick is going to the MGM Grand Buffet. Once again, it's $28 per person. You can get the My Vegas reward to get buy one, get one. It's such a good deal if you do that. Now, keep in mind, all of these MGM buffets that I'm kind of ranking one on top of the other, they offer a lot of similar items. They're all gonna kind of have the same desserts and things like that. They're gonna have like the Asian section, the carving meats, but I find MGM Grands is just a step above the Excalibur. It's just slightly better than this one and Bellagio. I particularly remember the carving meats being really great, as well as this breakfast burrito I had last time I was there. That was really good. This one's one where I feel like if you paid full price, you'd still be like, okay, yeah, I had a decent meal. You don't have to have the coupon at this one to feel like you got your money's worth. I think $28 for what you can get at MGM's buffet is not too bad. So MGM Grand, I'm very comfortable putting that at my number 10 pick. Now, from here on up are the ones that I really recommend you check out. I think 9 all the way up to number 1 are good buffets for different reasons. And this one's gonna go to the Westgate. Their dinner buffet is $37. It comes with crab legs, which is such a good deal. And these crab legs were awesome. Westgate is on the monorail loop, so if you want to go to this one, I would just take the monorail. You can Uber or Lyft, but monorail is going to be cheaper and it's a little easier to get around. The food here's very solid. I think that they're doing some really interesting things with their dishes. I think the chefs are very proud of the food that they're putting out, and everything I ate was very solid. I was incredibly impressed with my food. I thought the price was decent. At dessert, they had this like chocolate cookie skillet thing with ice cream. Whoo, I'm still dreaming about it. It was so good. I remember a lot of the Asian dishes being a real standout. They were really excellent. They're just doing some interesting and good things at Westgate. And I think it's a buffet that's definitely worth checking out if you want a budget-friendly buffet that's gonna have some variety, that's gonna have a few things that are really worth it. And honestly, a $37 buffet with crab legs is such a great deal. I would absolutely check this one out. My number 8 pick, let's talk about Rampart. Okay, Rampart's prices vary dramatically. They have all different kinds of days, but in particular, they have a $28 dinner buffet. That is so solid. It's our local. We go there all the time. This one's located in Summerlin, but I really enjoy this buffet. Rampart always has a really good variety. In particular, I'm trying to think, they have this chicken curry that I really like. That is delicious. Their soup and salad section super solid. They have good carving meats here. I've just had many a good meal at the Rampart buffet when we're there, gambling, enjoying ourselves. And it's just a very solid pick. So I feel pretty confident putting this one at number 8. And I think if you do happen to find yourself out in Summerlin, in this area, if maybe you're going to Red Rock Canyon or something, you could absolutely enjoy Rampart's buffet. I have not yet reviewed the brunch buffet yet. It does have bottomless mimosas. There's other nights that I definitely need to review. So leave comments if you guys want to see those. Okay, my number 7 pick is going to be the M Resort $100 buffet. Yes, you heard that right. Their buffet is $100. This one takes place inside of the Anthony's restaurant at M Resort. M Resort is off strip. It is out in Henderson. This buffet is really cool. This is an experience buffet. So they have lobster, crab, excellent sushi, beef Wellington on their carving station, some really delicious lamb. The offerings are very high end and very good, but I will say the variety is not huge because you are just getting a bunch of really excellent high end items and not like a massive variety. This is also a very controlled buffet where they only take a certain amount of reservations, and so you're not sitting on top of people. It's not crazy loud. It's kind of this hybrid of like a sit down all you can eat, but where you can go and help yourself. It feels very luxury. I think this is definitely an experience style buffet. But that being said, it's $100 a person and it's extremely hard to get a reservation for this one. It's really booked up, but I think this is one of those where you should definitely try it at least once. I thought it was a really great experience. I think it's a really good meal for $100. I absolutely got my money's worth, but this is a very bougie buffet. So I think it's good right where it is here. Okay, at number 6, we're going to talk about Main Street Station. Once again, the prices vary dramatically because they're open all different times, but specifically their dinner buffet is $33, and it's great. This is the only downtown buffet that is still open, and I absolutely love it. It's a great size, tons of variety. My favorite thing here is they have basically Thanksgiving dinner. Like they have the carving station, they'll have a turkey, and then their mashed potatoes and gravy are delicious. This is like all solid comfort foods. They also do Hawaiian foods here, and the food is all just really decent. Like I've had several good meals here. I like the ambiance of Main Street Station a lot as well. And their breakfast buffet is also good. So I feel like Main Street Station is just extremely solid. I love that there is one buffet downtown. For any of my friends who stay down on Fremont Street, if you're looking for a buffet, it's got to be Main Street Station. And I'm confident in recommending it because we've always had a really decent experience and they keep their price reasonable. We're getting into the top 5 and we are going to talk about Wicked Spoon at our number 5 spot. Their brunch buffet is $38. $25. They unfortunately do not have a dinner buffet. It is just brunch. And I will have the caveat that I have not been here since MGM took over operations. The items are unique. They're gonna have classic foods, but they're gonna put a little twist to them. Everything's gonna be excellently seasoned. Everything's gonna be prepared top notch. I also love how they portion food here. It usually comes out on little individual plates, and it's a great way to get to try absolutely everything. I also want to say the desserts at Wicked Spoon are absolutely top notch. These are incredible desserts. Probably my favorite on this entire list would be the desserts at Wicked Spoon. I just wish they were open for dinner, and now that they have gotten taken over by MGM, I am a little reticent to keep it here on this spot. We'll have to see when I go back, if they have changed things up. But for right now, the way that I remember Wicked Spoon, it's incredible, and it has to be our number 5 pick. At number 4, let's talk about South Point. So South Point Buffet is technically on Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's not considered the Strip because it is past the Vegas sign. But from Mandalay Bay, it's a few minutes. It's not crazy far by any means. And South Point is absolutely worth the drive to check out, by the way. I think getting an Uber or a Lyft there for the buffet and to check out everything else is worth your time. And this buffet is awesome. So prices vary. Weekend brunch with bottomless mimosas is $25. They have a $46 seafood buffet that comes with drink tickets and seafood, all you can eat crab legs. Now, South Point is not this crazy grand experience. They're not doing anything super experimental or crazy with the food. The food is just very solid. It's extremely consistent. I've always found this buffet to be very clean, and the food is rotated so well, and it's always hot and always fresh. There's also a ton of variety on the South Point buffet. Every time we go, there's new stuff I haven't tried. I've gone to this one a ton, and there's always something that I'm like, oh, I've got to go check that dish out. Their food is just consistent. It's consistent, it's clean, it's good, and they keep the price reasonable to where it keeps people coming back. This one's crazy busy. Just know it's always slammed here. There's always a line because it's that great. I mean, it really is an excellent choice. But overall, I think South Point is worth it. If you are watching this video because you love a Vegas buffet, this is kind of what I feel like the Las Vegas buffets are supposed to be. This is that old school vibe. So check out South Point. Very confident putting it at my number 4 pick. And at number 3, we're going to talk about Ace Buffet at Palms. Specifically, I really want to talk about the $33 brunch and the $65 crab and lobster dinners. Now, Palms is just off Strip. Once again, this one's more central. So if you're coming from like Center Strip, it's maybe an 8-minute drive or so. Uber or Lyft for sure. I would not walk. This food feels like a high-end buffet. The quality is really outstanding, but they keep the price, again, to where I consider it to be affordable for what you're getting. So the $33 brunch is going to be all you can drink mimosas and all your brunch options. The food is really good here, you guys. The brisket that they have on the carving station is one of my favorite things at any of the buffets. It's so excellent. And the variety is really good. They have a vegan and gluten-free section. They really keep it rotated and fresh. I love all the different options here. This is not the biggest of the buffets I'm mentioning. It's just that almost everything I try here is good. And if you come for crab and lobster nights, you're getting a whole lobster, you're getting crab legs, you're getting all this delicious seafood for $65. It's a great deal. I just overall feel like Palms is killing it in terms of having the right amount of variety with the quality being maintained and everything being really delicious here. And it's kind of that sweet spot in the middle where it feels like a luxury buffet, but a less crazy luxury price. And I totally think it's worth it. So Palms, I'm very happy to have as my number 3 spot. All right, the number 2 pick here for best buffets, it's Bacchanal at Caesars. Now, brunch is $65 and dinner is $80, making it very pricey. And I gotta say, this one is a pain in the butt to get in. You gotta make a reservation. If you try to go on the waiting list, it takes forever. I will also say this, they have a time limit and they have been strict with us on the time limit. And I don't love that because it's an extremely busy buffet. But here's the thing, the food is incredible. And this is the best variety of any of these buffets. Bacchanal is what you would want if you want to try a bunch of crazy different things all in one meal. That's what Bacchanal offers for you. The sections are endless. There's a really good Mexican section. There's sushi. There's Mediterranean, the carving meats, the seafood. Bacchanal has really like nailed itself in there as that luxury buffet, the one that you have to go to. And I do agree, it's absolutely worth checking out once because this food is amazing. And so even with all those cons that I listed, again, very busy, they have that time limit, it's a little bit stressful to get in here, I still think it's worth it because the food really is outstanding. So my number 2 pick is definitely Bacchanal. I feel really confident with that spot. Which leaves my number 1 spot by a lot would be the buffet at Wynn. This buffet is $60 for brunch, $75 for dinner with seafood, and you can pay ahead and skip the line. This one to me is the epitome of relaxation and luxury in an all-you-can-eat setting. It's absolutely beautiful in here, and that goes a long way for me, but I also have never felt rushed at this buffet. Not once. They really just let you relax and eat your meal, and everything is good. Now they're gonna have less variety here than over at Caesars, but there's still a ton of stuff on this buffet. I can never try everything when I go, and a lot of the other ones on the list, I have tried everything, and this one, absolutely not. And everything's delicious, you guys. I specifically want to shout this out. This is so kind of a weird litmus test, but the pizza here is absolutely out of this world. And every other buffet, the pizza is so standard. It's just something for the picky eaters, but not here. They did it to the nines. It's delicious. The sushi is incredible. I absolutely love it. At dinner, they have this taco station where they make those fresh. At breakfast, they have these little mini pancake station that they make fresh. And they do some unique items. They do some comfort items. Everything is delicious. And the desserts are gorgeous. They're so yummy. If you're coming to Vegas and you want to do one buffet and you want to try out the Vegas buffet experience, that $75 per dinner is absolutely worth it at Wynn. I do not think you will be disappointed. I really enjoy this one. Well, there you have it, you guys. That is 14 buffets in Las Vegas ranked. Let me know if you guys have tried these. Let me know what you think of my list. Where do you disagree? Again, I have all of these as full reviews. I've done multiple videos on each. You can check them out in my buffet playlist. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys all in my next review.